Hey. Good morning to you. Hello. How you doing? Hey. Hey everybody. How you doing? All right, so let's get the other channel started. Okay, great. Hey. All right, let's get into this read. Welcome back to my channel. This is Adana, also known as the Afro Z. And today I'm reading for the beautiful, handsome collective. Hello, collective. How you doing? Flowers, flowers, flowers. Two more times. I'm excited. That's every day though. Flowers, flowers, flowers. And one more time. Flowers, 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 flowers. Yes. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. To book a private reading with me or to shop in my store. All that information is also in my description box below. Okay? So this is a deeper type of read today in regards to mental health or surrounding mental health. It's also going to be philosophical as well too. But all the points I'm going to make is going to really drive it home. So it's going to open you up deeper to dive deeper in regards to your healing, in regards to individuals that you may have experienced or you dealt with, okay? So please keep in mind that this is a collective read. Not everything that I'm going to mention to you is going to resonate with you. Take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? Channel message here is their terminal illness has returned to them, or their terminal illness of ignorance has returned to them, okay? I took the liberty of breaking down some words here, and of course, I'm gonna break it down further for you. But what's happening here is that these individuals, or more so this group of individuals here, felt like that their ignorance would not have shown its ugly head. In society, we're going to say maybe about 90%, probably 95% of the world is really ignorant. It is what it is. That's what it is. And the reason being is because of many different stipulations. Some decide to stay ignorant, to remain ignorant, or they're fully aware as to what they're doing when it comes to their intentions, but they really prefer that staying in an ignorant state will be the best bet for them. And when it comes to individuals' free will, you can't tamper with that. So if they feel like ignorance is in the best space or state to be in, you have to allow people to be, okay? So I looked up the etymology of the word sickness, terminal, and ignorance, okay? Sickness is a state of being sick or suffering from a disease. Terminal, the etymology of the word terminal is final or ultimate. It can also pertain to making very harsh or very forceful boundaries, okay? And then also, ignorance is a lack of wisdom or knowledge. Ignorance can turn into a disease to someone's well-being because it quietly erodes their ability to thrive. Without any new information, without any new perspective on life, without any new points of view of life, a person can either become stagnant or remain stagnant, okay? That's where the ignorance plays a part in it. So much so to the point that if someone decides to literally thrive, and people do thrive in ignorance, if they decide to stay in the ignorant state here, well, that's what's going to grow. And that is what happened here. When someone is unaware or refuses to learn, but I'm going to more so focus on individuals that refuse to learn, because individuals that are unaware, and the moment that they become aware, they start to shift the narrative or change the outcome of the situation. So you would be considered that you were unaware at some point in time, but the moment that you receive new insight, new information, a new point of view, a new perspective, you quickly, or you were very happy to change the outcome of the situation here. Okay. So when someone refuses to learn, they shut themselves off from the knowledge that could heal, protect, or elevate them. It limits their choices, making them very vulnerable to manipulation, repeating harmful patterns, and staying stuck in toxic cycles. Ignorance can become like a disease to a well-being if it is untreated, such as an illness. Ignorance can spread into every area of someone's life: relationships, health, finances, emotional stability. It can also blind them to warning signs, preventing growth, and keep them at the mercy of circumstances that they don't understand. Overall, ignorance isn't just not knowing, it's choosing not to see what could actually save you. So in that way, it can be terminal to your well-being if left unchecked. And you were dealing with individuals that have a very unchecked well-being of self. They noticed, or they were aware that you were connected to self, or you were doing things to make sure that you had a very healthy a healthy space when it comes to self here. And they noticed that you were very different from them, of course, and they did everything possible to treat you as such, like a untreated illness. So it's very odd, but then again, it's not, because they looked at you as a form of ignorance, or you had a lot of ignorance that followed you, and that's not true. And the reason why they thought that is because they could not understand you. And normally when someone can't understand another person, the first thing that they think of is that it's an ignorant thing. Ignorant to the point where they either don't understand you, or they're not able to comprehend in regards to who you are, basically what you're saying here. So they treated you guys not being on the same playing level field, more so intellect. We'll put it in that way, because your intellect is here and their intellect is down here. And they couldn't understand your intellect because you're up here, you vibrate higher, so you're going to have higher knowledge, if that makes sense. The more you elevate, the more you're going to learn, the more you're going to grow. So while you're up here, it's going to look like peanuts to the individuals that are down here, because they're not able to understand or comprehend what you are seeing, what you are saying, whatever the case may be. Does that make sense? So while you are elevating out of the ignorance, because I really feel like a lot of us, or most of us, or the majority of us, actually start off life with ignorance. And it is up to us to ensure that we're able to bypass that ignorance, or to use that ignorance as a form of a catalyst to ensure it helps us to transform into the best version of ourselves on a day-to-day. That makes sense? So you were dealing with individuals that were dealing with nothing, they were operating with nothing but ignorance. That's all they knew. And their form of ignorance was to destroy whatever it is that they could not understand. That's literally what ignorance is. It's not being able to see things from a different perspective. It's being closed within a box, or being within a state of a mind where their mind is very closed off. That's a form of ignorance. And you were dealing with individuals of this such here. As I mentioned, you need wisdom to grow. If a person allows ignorance to be the catalyst of their life, it can become a disease to that person's well-being. It quietly erodes their ability to thrive. And their ability to thrive will surround these areas. Relationships, health, finances, emotional stability. So if someone is ignorant to relationships, all they know are toxicity, toxic ways, pushing toxicity onto you, trying to keep you in abusive situations and environments. That's one way. Another way is in regards to health. If you're wanting to lose weight, if you're wanting to eat better, Maybe they try to come around you to try to persuade you to eat more unhealthy type of foods, right? Like for instance, for me, when I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to eat any type of fast food or anything like that. I had a very, very, very harsh upbringing when it came to my childhood. So I was very, very skinny when I was young. But I noticed that with the health, it was always that with my mother figure, if I want to call her that, I say that loosely, she will always make foods that I did not like to eat. And now I understand, since I'm older and I've been far away from her, I can recollect and I can sit back and understand why she was doing what she was doing here. It was more so ignorance of my health, because she was trying to impede on my health or tamper with my health by basically giving me options that she knew that I would not want to eat. And in return, since I didn't want to eat that, I began to lose a lot of weight because I didn't want to eat whatever it is that she wanted to cook. That's just an example. So ignorance in health, knowing that if you don't feed this child is not going to grow, or they're not going to have, the best chance of living life. If that makes sense, it's just an example. The next one would be finances. They're ignorant to finances. They blow through their money. They're very ignorant when it comes to their money. They're very unresponsible or irresponsible when it comes to their money. When they get paid, the first thing they do is they go buy things, frivolous things or miscellaneous things that's not going to help them, be the best version of themselves. Thank you for the gifts. So when they see you doing something different with your finances, you're saving your money, you could be investing it in yourself, within a business, a home, whatever the case may be. It's always something out of the ordinary in regards to what you do. And once again, because it is out of the ordinary, this is the reason why they feel like you are ignorant. To them, you're out of the ordinariness or your uniqueness or your rareness that you carry within. It's very ignorant towards them. They don't understand it. I made a post on Facebook. Let me see if I can pull it up. I don't even know if I have Facebook on this thing right here. I probably don't. Okay. Hold on. Let me look at my YouTube real quick. But I made a post, and I want to reiterate what I stated. Give me 1 second. I stated you were isolated because they couldn't understand you. When someone doesn't understand a person, a place, or a thing, they're going to do various things to get away from the thing that they can't understand. They're going to cause harm to it. They may abandon it. They may leave it behind. They're going to do something in a negative way because they can't understand. They can't comprehend whatever is in front of them. Does that make sense? Whether it's a person, a place, or a thing. You were isolated because they couldn't understand you. They saw you as dangerous misinformation, not because you were wrong, but because they couldn't handle the frequency of your intellect. Ignorance is bliss. Isn't that what they say? They say the more that someone loves to stay within ignorance, the more comfortable they feel while they're in that state of ignorance. And you, on the other hand, you don't like ignorant people, ignorant things, ignorant areas. So you're doing something different that is showing that you don't respond well to ignorance. You respond well to truth or facts, So because they couldn't handle the frequency of your intellect, they shunned and punished you, thinking isolation would break you. But what they didn't realize is that solitude only sharpened you. What they meant to destroy you actually ended up defining who you truly are. So, going back to what I stated in regards to the channel message here, their terminal illness of ignorance has returned to them. They wanted to come off in the world, or the populace of the world, or more so their community, that they weren't ignorant individuals. They knew firsthand that you weren't an ignorant individual at all, but they wanted people to see you or deem you as such. So they wanted to take all of your mannerisms, all of your personalities, and all of the characteristics that make you very intellectual or very intelligent or smart in this way. They wanted to take that from you, and they wanted you to sit in the ignorance of their terminal illness. Now, when people hear the word terminal illness, a lot of people completely go towards cancer, and I understand that. But if you're able to look at ignorance in this way as well too, it is very cancerous, or it can become very cancerous to someone's well-being. And because they decided to turn a blind eye, or they decided to ignore all that is happening to you here, now that all the tables have turned and everything is right, is back up to where it needs to be, meaning you're on the right side of things and they're on the negative side of things, they're not able to handle the terminal illness of their ignorance. So let's get into these cards here. I'm gonna start with this. Does somebody work at a Chinese restaurant? I'm sincerely asking, because like I mentioned, every time I come on here, somebody eating Chinese food. I don't know, maybe you just on a kick of Chinese food. Okay, that's just what I'm tasting. Somebody loves oranges or tangerines. All right, we have the future here. So in order for them to mind F you when it comes to your future here, in order for them to block your future, they had to instill ignorance within you. Without truth, you really can't see the future, or you can't prepare for the future. Does that make sense? You need some form of truth to be able to kind of see what's up ahead, or to realize that you're on the right path. The truth helps you to get on the right path, or to be on the right path. And they knew that your future was very bright, but they didn't want you to be aware. So again, they tried to instill ignorance onto you, or into you, with spider. We all know spiders they have certain types of baits or lures that they use to make sure that they're able to catch their prey, in their lair, more so their spider web. And if the spider has failed, then that means that the web that they created to catch their prey, it's not going to work for them here. So it was like this person felt like that they were a spider in your life, and they were trying to inconspicuously create webs of traps, or webs of lies, or webs of ignorance to encapsulate you in, or to more so keep you stuck in, or to tie you in here. But as you ever notice that sometimes when you're just walking and you don't even realize you walked into an actual spider's web, and the moment that you realize it kind of feels really icky on your face, you kind of have to make sure you kind of, like they wanted you to be blindsided to what they had in store for you here. That's ignorance. They didn't want you to be aware. They wanted you to be hidden or unaware in regards to what they were trying to do towards you. That's ignorance. Ignorance can become like a disease to a person's well-being, because it quietly erodes their ability to thrive. So if you were unaware as to what they were trying to do towards you here, but you're realizing that things have been breaking down in your life here, it starts to quietly erode at your ability to thrive. You're not understanding, or you're unaware as to where this negative energy is coming from. But sometimes, in some cases, it may actually become too late, to the point where you're so enthralled within the ignorance, it really starts to break down other areas or aspects in your life, such as relationships. Now you're in toxic relationship that concerns friends and families and ex-lovers and ex-spouses and co-workers, etc., etc. Then there's also health as well too. You not being aware. So the etymology of the word ignorance is lack of wisdom or knowledge, right? And the lack of wisdom, or the less knowledge that you have, is going to be harder for you, or much harder for you to thrive in a circumstance that you anticipate to thrive in. So it's very important, or more so imperative, to learn as much as you can, so that way you don't fall into this terminal illness of ignorance. Does that make sense? So another stipulation of how ignorance can become like a disease to a person's well-being is also finances and also emotional stability. And these individuals, or this group of people, knew that you were an individual that thrive, or you really love emotional stability. That is something that was near and dear to you. That is something that connects you to who you are here. And at the time, despite what you were going through with these individuals here, and your emotional stability was protecting you from the ignorance that they wanted to more so project onto you, or they wanted you to more so carry within. So once they realize that you refuse to carry their ignorance that they keep trying to project or push onto you here, this is when they started to do things or try to, or so they basically went the extra mile. Went the extra mile to the point where now everyone sees them with their ignorance or the mental illness of their ignorance. This is how it was returned to them. They didn't want to accept that they're a very ignorant person. They knew they're ignorant. They knew because of the intentions that they had. They were very intentional with their intentions. And the moment that they got caught is the moment that they started to shift up or change the way that the narrative is actually playing out here. So that tells me that they have feelings or they have emotions to where they are fully aware as to what they are doing. So it started to spread very quickly that they anticipated. They never expected their ignorance to spread in this way. Again, there are many forms of one aspect of that thing or that one thing. A lot of people just tend to just go to that one thing or that one definition. And that's not how I mean, it's going to help you grow. Yes, it will. But if you remain open to the many facets or the multifaceted ways of doing things or learning things, it's really going to put you in the forefront in regards to your success. And that could be spun in many different ways. So with the cauldron here, okay, with the cauldron here, they're realizing that they're in a lot of trouble here because they are stuck with the ignorance that they tried to portray or more so push onto you. They wanted to fertilize, or they wanted to enhance, or they wanted to manifest, or they wanted to create a facade here that you were the one that's stuck in ignorance, and you weren't. You weren't. Just because you're unaware of something doesn't make you ignorant. It doesn't. You're unaware. But the moment that you find out something that you were unaware about, you're able to rectify or fix the situation at hand. That doesn't make you ignorant. Once again, remember, you're dealing with individuals that are not intelligent. Based on the actions that they decide to take or the intended actions that they decide to take, it's not intelligent. The way that they move is not intelligent. It's a fantasy. Stop playing. It's a fantasy. Their fantasy was to look smart, but yet they're unintelligent. How you going to look smart, or they're trying to play the part? You can't play the part when it comes to being intelligent or being smart. You can't play that part. That's what it is. You only can play for but so long, literally and figuratively speaking. I'll even use a game for an example. Let's say you only have maybe 2 hours or 3 hours of game time within you. After those 3 hours, you might be tired. Your eyes may be watering. Your eyes may be burning. You may need to take a break. You may have to step away from the game. You may have to take a bathroom break. You may have to eat. You know what I mean? There's always breaks in between things here. And with this fantasy here that they thought that they could hide, because pond is in reverse, they thought that they can hide their shallowness amongst others, and they're 100% mistaken. Your fantasy is over. Was it even a fantasy to begin with? I asked that because they needed you to be a part of it. And if you're not a part of it, is it really a fantasy, or was it really a fantasy? They needed you to look good in their story. That's their fantasy. That was their fantasy. Did it work? Someone's name is Neil. I had a couple of confirmations here for you guys, just in case. Agatha, Artemis, Arlene, Arlena, cashew, peanuts, almond milk, breast milk, and goat milk. So take that how that resonates, okay? The fantasy thrived when you were in it. The ignorance of you in regards to their fantasy heavily relied on you being ignorant or staying ignorant. That's the only way this fantasy could come true. You needed at the time, or they wanted you at the time to be ignorant to the fantasy that they were trying to manifest. Because if you are aware as to what they're trying to do towards you, it's not going to work. And that was the nightmare that they did not want to either manifest or they did not want to live. Ignorance is a form of fantasy. When you're living in a bubble and you're always in your head and you're thinking of all these things, these individuals are doing something negatively to make this fantasy come true. If they felt like that if they escape or they envision this fantasy in a negative way to cause harmful things towards you here, they felt like that this was the future, and it wasn't. Their fantasy that they created for you, they thought was your future. Whatever you feel, you can pray for me and think for me or try to manifest. You can't manifest anything for me. I don't want you to pray for me. I'm so serious when I say that. I can do what I need to do for me. I could depend on my future. I can create my future. I don't need another person's input or confirmation or anything like that to determine how my future is going to play out. That's just me. They needed you to be in a fantasy to feel that your future was what they said it was, and it was not. They wanted you stuck in their fantasy. Somebody eating fried chicken. That was the fantasy that they had envisioned for you. That's exactly what they envisioned for you. And that's what they thought was fated for you. That's what they thought. But lots of people have thoughts. And just because you have a thought doesn't mean you should go through with that actual thought that you have. Some thoughts are negative. Some thoughts are positive. It's up to you to decide what you're going to do with your thoughts. And because they're living in a fantasy land and all of their thoughts were very negative or dark spirited, or they were surrounding about dark energies when it comes to their thoughts here, they really thought that you were going to be stuck in this fate. They did. They wanted to get out of the projections, or they wanted to get out of the fantasy that they created for self, the ignorance of their lies. They needed you to get out of this situation. And that's what's coming to light. That's what's coming to light with Lantern. Yeah, now they feel betrayed. They feel betrayed because their ignorance are being shown, not by you, but by everyone else. The true epitome of their ignorance falls in the actions that they intended to have towards you or to intend upon in regards to what they wanted for you. But yeah, you out here protected. You ain't worried about that. Oh, goodness, because the perspective is in reverse. Identity is also in reverse as well. Their perspective have changed when you saw through the lies or through the illusion of their lies. That's when your perspective has shifted. Theirs too. Your perspective shifted when you saw through the lies. Their perspective shifted when you were able to see through it. And it created an internal clash between what was truth versus what were lies. Because they've been lying for so long, they actually adopted or adapted to them being liars. They thought their lies were truth, and that's a very, very dangerous spot to be in someone's, to be in, to be in mentally. It's a very dangerous spot. Ignorance is bliss. How bliss is it? How long should you decide to remain ignorant or be in an ignorant state to realize that that's not helping you? Ignorance doesn't help others. It doesn't. The truth do, whatever the truth is. But ignorance is a hindrance. It's not bliss. They want you to feel ignorance is bliss. They want you to be comfortable being ignorant, because the ones that are comfortable being ignorant is really the ones that are taken advantage of. And that could be spun in many different ways: mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, etc., etc. And the more that they realize that you are ignorant, the more they realize that they can always throw a cover over your head, a wool over your eyes, and they can continue doing things because someone or a person feels that ignorance is bliss. Going back to my next post that I made today. Let me look it up. Give me a second. Redemption isn't infinite for those who refuse to learn. Because now these individuals realize that their ignorance is truly not bliss. And they realize that their ignorance is in Front Street or on Front Street for everyone to see. Now they're wanting redemption. I think that's very comical for individuals that want to pray themselves out of a sticky situation that they blatantly and intentionally place themselves, even ignorantly place themselves in. So redemption isn't infinite for those who refuse to learn. The ones that refuse to learn love to remain in ignorance, despite them being aware that if they do something, or they are the catalyst of something, that harsh changes could happen or potentially, you know what I mean? So redemption isn't infinite for those who refuse to learn. When someone keeps choosing harmful, destructive behavior without any desire to change, their chances at redemption grow exhausted and null. Okay? The ones who refuse to change are the ones you must steer clear of. They have nothing to lose, and they'll drag you down with them without a second thought. Protect your spirit. Not everyone is meant to come with you. In some cases here, when it comes to redemption, sometimes it takes a brutal reality check to wake someone up. And despite them having that brutal wake-up call, they still refuse to change. So knowing that they're aware of their ignorance, because they're aware, they feel comfortable thriving in their ignorance, why be around someone that knows what they're doing and refuses to change? Why be around someone that always calling upon a higher spirit or a higher source when they get themselves in trouble? What's going on YouTube? Who's being the issue on YouTube? Let me know. We'll get them out of here, because we don't do issue over here. You're going to have to take that bullshit elsewhere, boo, okay? Don't come over on my YouTube buttoning up anything. We good over here, okay? So anybody acting ignorant and stank, get them out of here, okay? Because if I see you up out of here, boo, you're going to respect everyone in the chat. And if you don't like somebody, then you need to move around or don't say nothing to them at all. But who's what? Y'all give me a second. Patricia ain't saying nothing bad, y'all. She ain't saying nothing bad. She talking about her life. She ain't saying nothing bad. Anywho, let's keep moving forward. So we have Creature's Paw here. And the Creature's Paw in regards to the perspective in reverse here is that they wanted to snatch away any new ideas or any new ideologies or any new perspective or point of view that you could actually ascertain to see them through the lies. They didn't want you to see through lies. So they wanted to take the opportunity to yank or to muddy the new opportunities so to see it from a different point of view. This is why they didn't teach you anything. This is why you didn't learn anything. You were around certain individuals. You never notice that when you are around certain individuals, when it comes to connections, whether it's a friend, a foe, ex-lover, ex-friend, ex-spouse, whatever, however here, you realize that they don't really teach you anything in a positive manner. Anything that they give to you is always negative. It could be arguing, it could be fighting, it could be bickering, it could be like whatever. It's always something ignorant or always something very low vibrational or something that really doesn't help you grow. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to the connections that you are connected to. Are they adding into your life or are they taking away from your life? And if they're taken away from your life, you need to move around or you need to disconnect from them. Somebody's eating grapes or cotton candy grapes, or maybe you could be growing grapes for the first time. Somebody learned how to play a recorder or a flute. Or maybe this is something you learned when you were young to play the recorder or that, you know, that little flute? You got it in school? That's what I'm seeing. Someone could be from Albany, that could be New York, or if there are any other cities with that name Albany, that could be your first name, that could be someone's last name. Take it how it resonates. But the name Albany comes up. Someone loves apricots, or you may love peaches or nectarines, okay? So this is what they did not want you to be in. They didn't want you to be in a healing space of things. Ignorance is bliss. They wanted you to be ignorant to healing because we all know that whatever you heal is going to grow. Whatever you nurture, whatever you heal, it's going to grow. It's going to benefit you. Can ignorance benefit you in a way? It can if you're able to spin it in that perspective. Yes, it can. But from their perspective or their point of view, they don't want you learning about the ignorance that they were trying to hide behind your back. They wanted you to stay in ignorance because it benefits them, not you. You not being aware. I'll use finances for an example. Let's say you were living with a very toxic dynamic, a toxic family or a toxic spouse or a toxic ex. And they always wanted to be, let's say, in control of finances. Let's say you had your own finances, but you're very good when it comes to your finances. When it comes to them, they're overspending. They never have any money. Let's say they get paid today and tomorrow is completely kaput and they got to wait 2 weeks or however way, you know. They're not responsible for their finances, but they see you very responsible. Now they're trying to come towards you, or you think you this, or you think you that, and you know, you always doing this, you always doing that, like trying to like dispersuade you or to get you to look in a different way, more so in an ignorant way, so that way you're not able to save your finances. Or they may try to push you in a financial block or financial opposition to where your money goes directly to them. You know, they're not paying, this is just an example, they're not paying for their half of the rent. They're not paying for the electric. They're not paying for the water bill. They're not paying for things that they know that they should be paying for when, you know, y'all in the connection. Again, take it how it resonates, okay? So they'll use that as a form of financial abuse to where they know that you're very financially responsible, but they will abuse your finances where they want to put you in a position where they feel like that you have to take the brunt of everything, and that's not right and that's not fair. Again, that can go for friends, that can go for family, that can go for ex-spouses, ex-lovers. Take it how it resonates, okay? Siblings, however it resonates. Someone's name is Billy, or actually Bob, or Robert, or William. Okay. Someone's name is Roscoe. Someone's last name could be Jackson. Someone's first name could be Jackson. Okay. I'm also hearing Jimenez or Jimenez, Jimenez. I believe that's how it's spelled, Jimenez. But take that how that resonates, please. So we have Peacock here, and Peacock is in reverse. They can't strut themselves. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't advise. These individuals love to strut their stuff when it comes to lies. They feel like that when people see, because they thrive on lies, and they don't want other people to be aware or realize that they're telling lies. So what they do here in the lies is that they tend to strut it off as the truth, or they make it's like bedazzled lies or bedazzled shit, that kind of way. It was your family. For whoever resonates. For whoever resonates. That did not want you to see their true nature or true character. Yeah, you came from a broken family with the 10 of Cups in reverse. Okay? You came from a broken home, and they thought that's where you should stay, or stayed in, or you should follow their practices, or follow more so their follow their lead or follow their path. Hey Renee, I'm good. How you doing? Hey, Moni. We have Judgment. Man. The only way you would have saw the truth of this family dynamic was to pass through the lies. Remember, in order to get through something, you have to go through it. And all they had were tunnels of lies. That's all they had, tunnels of lies. And you had to go through those tunnels of lies to eventually get to the truth of it all. And they did this specifically, intentionally, to ensure that you were stuck in that tunnel of lies. Somebody could be playing Tomb Raiders. Somebody could be playing Tomb Raiders, or Tomb Raiders could be your favorite game. Actual Tomb Raiders 1. That might be your actual favorite game, okay? I'm also hearing Banjo-Kazooie. So somebody loves to play, like, well, I mean, I guess they're considered, what do you call it? Vintage games? That's crazy. PlayStation is considered vintage games? Whatever. That's what I saw. So I'm just telling you what I saw. Somebody loves, like, PlayStation 1 games. Okay. Hey, Cool Karma. Hey, Timothy. Somebody loves arcade games. You could be looking for a pinball machine, or maybe you grew up with pinball machines. But I just see someone purchasing a new pinball machine for your home, for your apartment here. All right, we have the 10 of Wands here. This fell on the floor here, okay? The 10 of Wands that fell on the floor here represents that they're overwhelmed, or they're overworked, or they're overburdened by the ignorance that they tried to place onto you. They wanted to cover their their perspective with, they wanted to cover your perspective with lies. They wanted to judge you by keeping you in lies. And the person that lives truth, you can't keep them in lies. No matter how much you may try, you can't keep them in lies. Who the fuck are you? Why do y'all come on here? Did you wash your front for the day? Damn, like, if I wasn't on TikTok, I would cuss you so stink the hair would grow on your fucking chest, boo. You don't know me from a can of paint. Tread lightly with me, Empress Goddess. How you call yourself an Empress Goddess? But you have boils coming out from the side of your legs and in the front of your foul front. Girl, don't make me cuss, you stink. Don't, child. Baby. Let me calm myself down real quick. God damn. You need to see an obstetrician or a gynecologist. You need to see a gynecologist, boo. With your bumpy, frothy front. How about that? Empress Goddess. I blocked that trash. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Leave me alone. Fair warning, leave me alone. I keep telling you, when you come for me, I'm going to come for you. You can't troll me. I am the ultimate troll on my channels. I promise you I am. You will never be able to troll me. I am a walking book, an open book at that. You can't troll me, but I can troll you. And I will always pull out your deepest, darkest secrets. You having an outbreak on your private part. Let's talk about that, Empress Goddess, since you want my attention on TikTok. Huh? You're having an outbreak on your Netherlands, your front, your foul front, your frowsy front. And you want to fix your foul front to speak ill about me? Get your priorities in order, heifer. You the one that have to lay on your back just to get a piece of bread or a piece of fruit to feel nourished. I don't have to do that. We're not the same, heifer. Let's keep moving forward. We will never be the same. And I promise you, if it was on TikTok, not TikTok, YouTube, I'll cuss it stink. All right. I'm back on my light side. Hi, y'all. Hi, collective. Oh man, this crunchy draw heifer. My God, Lord, your whole frowsy front smelling fresh and stink. But you won't come for me. You can't come for me. Child, please. When the last time you changed your underwears, boo? When the last time you went underwear shopping, boo? And I'm not talking about no year or two. When the last time you went underwear shopping, boo? Can't come for me. You don't even wear panty liners. You can't come for me, boo. You know what? Anywho, let's keep going. We got lovers in reverse. Oh man. Family and the lovers in reverse. Yeah, so family surrounded you, a lot of disharmony and infidelity. To be honest, like, your family was your first heartbreak. I put it in that way. Mother, father, brother, sister, uncle, whatever the case may be. They were your first heartbreak, or they were the first ones to introduce you to infidelity. Infidelity in the point or in a way where they didn't give you that space to trust them or to learn how to trust them. They didn't give you that space to learn how to thrive off of positivity. So you being in this family dynamic here, and despite you being one against all of them here, they still were showing their other individuals, whether it's siblings or whatever the case may be, they were still showing them that it was okay to live a life of lies. And I feel like they really came down hard on you because you weren't doing what they wanted you to do. You weren't living that life of lies. Hey, Alexis. I get fair warnings. Do not come for me. Leave me alone. I don't bother nobody. I come on here to love on y'all, teach y'all, and get up on my, go on about my day. Leave me alone. Do not mash my corns. Do not. Don't you ever mash my corns. Ever. We got deaf here. All right, so with the deaf here, yeah. So once you realize that this family dynamic is not who they say they are, you're able to more so see through death. Not a physical death. It could be like the ending of things, because death could be spun in many different ways, of course. You ended the infidelity or the disharmony that this family surrounded you with, and you did something different. Somebody's watching The Lion King, or The Lion King could be your favorite movie. We have the Nine of Swords here. And then the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So without you, they can't succeed. Without you, they feel lost. Without you, they're within their head here. Without you, ignorance is truly bliss when it comes to them. They really feel like that they should have never tested or pushed the envelope when it came to you here, because they knew you were truthful. They just didn't know just how far you would go with the truth. I mean, you will take the truth as far as you need to take it, specifically if it depends on your life. If it boils down to saving your life and the truth is all that you have, I'm almost certain you're going to speak the truth. Specifically, if it's coming at the actual quality or the well-being of your life. So we have the Three of Swords here, Nine of Swords, and Three of Swords. Believe it or not, when someone has been lying for many years upon years here, the lies can actually turn traumatic. It really can. It's a part of a generational toxic cycle of things. When one person or a person do nothing but lie and lie and lie, it becomes so traumatic, because once the truth is discovered or revealed with judgment here, it can put a person in a very, unsettled mind. And this is where and why, let me go back to my notes. This is why their terminal illness of ignorance has returned to them. They needed you to grow. You are the wisdom that they needed. And when they realized that you were the wisdom that they needed to grow, they did everything possible to snuff you out, or to derail your growth, or to hinder your growth, or to make your growth still or stagnant. And we all know that everyone can't come with you. So if they're not willing to grow with you, they're going to remain stagnant. And you need to allow people to remain stagnant. That is not your job. Your job is not to help and protect everyone. I would love that in a perfect world, man. Every person that crossed my path, I would love to. That's in a perfect world. But in the type of world that we're in, you can't help and save everyone. Is it a hard pill to swallow for some, including me? Yeah, it is, because I really love helping others. I truly do. But I had to realize, in order to protect myself, and more so protect myself from the terminal illness of their ignorance, I needed to be very open-minded, and more so when it comes to my level of perception, I needed to make sure that I stay open-minded and also level-headed, that I could not help that individual or the group of individuals, or however it resonates. So we have the world here. Yes, you are the world. Somebody can listen to Michael Jackson. We are the world. Well, it's not really Michael Jackson's song, but y'all get it, okay? But I'm hearing that song, We Are the World, We Are the Children, okay? Somebody may love Cyndi Lauper. You may love the 80s. You could be born in the 80s. You could be born on the 21st, or you may have a child that just turned 21. You may live in the 21st state. That's very specific. So let me see what the 21st state actually is. Give me a second. Because that's very specific. 21st state in the United States. 21st state. That'll be Illinois. So you could be from the state of Illinois. Maybe you live in Chicago. You may live in Peoria, Illinois. You may live in the states of Indiana. There's something about 21 in the states of Illinois, but the 21st state to join the United States was Illinois, which was December 3rd, 1918. So maybe your birthday is December 3rd. Maybe you live in Illinois. Maybe you have a child that's turning 21. Maybe you moved to Illinois when you were 21. Take it how it resonates, okay? I'm also hearing the OJs, okay? You may listen to the OJs or the Temptations, okay? I'm also hearing the stylistic, so that type of music, like 50s, 60s and up. You may love those type of music or era. You may love jazz. Someone's learning how to play the saxophone or the trombone or the clarinet. You could come from a very musical family, or you could be raising or teaching your children how to be very musical, or a child to be very musical. So take that how that resonates. Someone's name is Anthony, Antoine, Antwain, Antoinette, Antonia. You could be from San Antonio. Somebody could be from Mesa, M-E-S-A, Mesa. I'm also hearing LBC, Long Beach. I think, is that right? LBC, is that Long Beach City? I believe that's California. LBC is what I'm hearing. San Francisco, Anaheim. Someone's name is Quasi with a K or a Q. If you've been having issues with your stomach, whatever complications that you're having, I feel like is due to stress. So if you're a person that's stressing out right now, you're going to be fine. Like that pain within your stomach is going to subside. So take that how that resonates for whoever it resonates for. You could be planning a trip to go to Australia for the first time. It's going to be very successful, okay? Or you could be leaving Australia for the first time. So it's either someone's entering Australia for the first time, or you're leaving Australia for the first time. So take it how it resonates. Someone loves zucchini, or you may love zucchini bread, okay? We have the star. The star represents the truth, or you are the truth. You could be an Aquarius, a high vibrant Aquarius. You could be a Libra, high vibrant Libra. You could be a Scorpio, high vibrant Scorpio. Aquarius, Libra, or Scorpio so far. Your truth is going to lighten your path, or your truth is going to lighten the path of your destiny or your success. The more truth you speak, or the more truth you operate in, the brighter your path is going to be. Okay. King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, they're very nasty or temperamental. They're very temperamental. They're very nasty and impulsive here because they can't hide their lies anymore behind their ignorance being bliss. I could never understand how someone can live in ignorance or sit in ignorance and be comfortable in that. Like they literally live in the bosom of ignorance and they're comfortable with that. And that's fine. But they're not comfortable with you speaking the truth or walking in truth. And they become very nasty and temperamental to the point where they feel like that they can judge you based on the truth that you speak. Man. Afraid of truth but comfortable in lies. Afraid of truth but comfortable in lies. Afraid of you as the truth but comfortable in lies. So comfortable in lies that they're willing to hurt you because of the truth that you speak. You're walking judgment. You're the walking truth. You're going to always be. Seven of Pentacles is in reverse. Lack of growth. And they become very impatient because they don't understand you. And the more and more that they grew in regards to not learning you or knowing who you are, the more they felt more feasible to cause some form of harm towards you. And it didn't work out in a way that they anticipate. Let me see. I'm going to pull one more deck and then I'm out of here. Someone's name is Anastasia. We have criminal record here. Hi, Dominique. How you doing? Long-term investments. So thank you, Shantae. So their long-term investments land them with a criminal record. That's what happens when you lie for a living. It's going to catch up eventually. Someone's name is Amber. Aqua. Could be Aquanetta. Someone lives in Amarillo. Amsterdam. You may live in Amsterdam. You could be visiting Amsterdam. Someone's name is Nick or Nicholas. I'm also hearing Nolte, N-O-L-T-E, Nolte. Someone's name is Nolan, N-O-L-A-N. Ryan Nolan or Nolan Ryan. I think that's a baseball player, I believe. Someone's name is Ricardo or Richard. Richmond. You may live in Richmond. Someone's name is, so someone's name could be Rosh Hashanah, or maybe you celebrate Rosh Hashanah. I believe that's in September. That's being celebrated, Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur. We have escapism here. We have closeted. So they are hiding that they're trying to escape from what they put out into this world. They are hiding that they have a criminal record. So this criminal record started in the spiritual aspect of things because, again, as above, so below. So with this criminal record here, yeah, they've racked up a lot of karmic debt or karmic energy to where now they're trying to escape from what they have created here and they don't want people to see. Sucks to be them, huh? Someone's name is Rashad or Rashan. Rashad. Lushay, Nushay, Rushay. I'm also hearing Magnolia. You could be from Magnolia. I believe that's New Jersey. I'm also hearing Camden, New Jersey. Pennsauken, New Jersey. Corpus Christi, Texas. Shanghai, China. I'm hearing Versailles, France, or Nice, France. You may have just been promoted to aunt. You could be an aunt to a new niece. Congratulations. Or you may have a sibling that may have had twins that are both girls. So you are a aunt or an uncle to twin nieces, okay? Congratulations. Or there's something about twins, okay? You could be from Pensacola, pork and beans. You may love pork and beans. Someone loves Nathan's hot dogs. So the trauma that they have done towards you is not being overlooked. It's being pushed in front of everyone to see. We have disconnected and running back to you. Interesting. Now they want to run back because you disconnected from them. Nope. Smoke and mirrors. Once the smoke clears, the mirror is being shown vividly. And what's being shown in the mirror is a disconnect by you overlooking them. You can pass someone straight and don't even acknowledge them. You can ignore someone. You may know this person, but you see them in the street and you ignore them. That is a really, that bothers them to no end. That you can see them for what they are, but don't acknowledge them or don't give them any play or anything. It's like, okay, whatever. You're not feeding into their stories anymore. You're not feeding into their ignorance. You're a divination abuser, stalker. You'll come back and tell me that whoever the stalker is here that keeps stalking you, they're going to be sick, very, very sick. They won't be bothering you pretty much longer. So it's like they're making themselves sick by stalking you. They're not eating, they're not sleeping, they're not showering, they're not taking their meds, what they should be. They're not doing what they do to be on the healthy aspect of things when it comes to their life. So they're really, they're at the end. We have spiritual hater. Then we also have no facts. Lies don't have facts. Truth do. That's crazy. People gotta make up stuff just to stay relevant. You gotta make up lies or create lies to stay relevant. So what happens when you've exhausted all of the lies? What's left is the truth. Are they going to speak the truth? No, they're not. So you're just going to continue to just speak lies with no facts? Lies have no substance. There's no facts surrounding lies. We have a dirty offer and we have crying over you. I'm going to stop right there, child. We have Aries. Virgo. Hey, Azul. Sagittarius. Libra. Taurus. Capricorn. And Scorpio. Okay? So if that resonates with you guys, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Don't forget to grab your copy of your book here, Wisdom Beyond Wounds. This book was created surrounding narcissism, experiences that you may have went through, but it's a shadow book that is created to connect with healing all of the negative aspects that you may have experienced when it came to narcissism. It is currently on Amazon. Go ahead and make sure you grab your copy. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Love, love, love to you guys. Thank you, TikTok. Mwah. You are so freaking awesome. Go out there and be great. I'll see you on the next one. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I'm going to save this live on Instagram versus Instagram and Facebook. I thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for your support. It is truly appreciated. I love you guys. Don't forget to go out and get your book. Get your book. What you waiting for? Go out and get your book. I'll talk to y'all soon. Love, love, love to y'all. Thank you. And my beautiful YouTube. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much. It is truly appreciated. Thank you so much to my moderators. I love you guys. Thank you to my community. I love you guys. Y'all truly appreciate it. Don't forget to go ahead and get your copy of your book, Wisdom Beyond Wounds. Go ahead, go get your copy and stop playing and start healing from this narcissistic and these narcissistic individuals out here. I love you guys. Mwah. Go out there and be freaking great. You're freaking awesome. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.